Okay, so finally I'm going to talk about the discussions we had for Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, because we sort of reviewed that, and I'm going to throw up my review on that here soon, so it'll probably be up before I put this up, but whatever. Time is cyclical. What does it mean? I don't know. Anyways, it's a fantastic play. I'm in it, so I am a little biased towards it, but what did I learn rereading it and then discussing it in class as opposed to being a part of it is the coolest part. Because I sort of noticed this theme of death. Yes, it is sort of tailored around Beckett's Waiting for Godot, or Godot. Godot? Yeah, Godot, because it's got the God in there. But it sort of tailors into its idea of death and what causes those two characters to die. And it mixes Shakespeare and Beckett, and has this wonderful, wonderful piece to it. If you guys feel like, if you guys are the movie watchers as opposed to readers of plays and books, in the instant queue of Netflix, there is a version starring Gary Oldman and Tim Roth. I have not watched it yet, because I'm in the play, and you should not do that as an actor. It sort of makes preconceptions and changes your ideas, and no. But the cool thing about this play is the idea that it does talk about choice, but it also involves sort of a meta field with art. And meta is sort of like a play talking about a play. Yeah. And then there's the concept of death that plays into it. But the cool thing is it all highlights the idea of choice and where that leads to you. Because these two characters are sort of told everything, but don't really choose anything. So if they make a choice, it's to do what they're told. And they're told they're Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. They're told what to do. They're told where they are. There's no actual fact behind it. There could be if you were to direct this, but it's sort of a cool concept that it's just vague. Like, every fact is what they're told. It's not what they choose or what they see or what they observe. It's someone said you're on a boat. Someone said you're Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. This is what you're doing. So their purpose, the place, who they are, what they're doing, all of that is what's told. And then it just leads them to their death, and they accept it. But they're like, why? Why am I important enough? And I think that's cool. Essentially, we're told who we are. From day one, we're told what our names are. And yes, some of us make the choice to choose a different name, or some of us choose to stick with what we're told, and then we're told what our purpose are, or what we choose it. And how much influence do our choices make? And why don't they choose to do something else? And it's sort of that fear of the unknown. Where will it lead us? Because they constantly talk about the fact that, well, why do we have to do this? Well, so then we can get the next order of what we can do. Then we'll have purpose. And it's existentialism. The idea of what makes us. Like, what controls us? Our fate or ourselves? And existentialism would say, ourselves. We make our own choices. We choose to follow fate, or we choose to do whatever the hell we want. And in the end, in the past is fate, but in the future, it's what's the unknown. And the unknown is so scary. It really is. I think this is cool, and I think it's, again, a lesson that we have to think about in life. I really, really like the talk about acting and art and all that, because they talk about what audiences believe and what they expect, and how that affects acting, and then how far these actors stoop because the times are so bad. They stoop to violence and gore and sex and dirty stuff. Love this play. I do. I'm really glad to be a part of it. Even if it's just this small part, you still get to be a cog in the wheel and you get to see it happen. And I think that's even better than being being a lead. Because essentially as a lead, you're the action. You don't get to see the action. So I get to sort of step back, still be a part of the action, but observe it. And I think that's where the audience is the luckiest, because they get to observe action all the way around, and they get to laugh, and they get to do all this stuff. Whereas there's going to be me in the background who has to observe it, but at the same time, I have to still be something and not be able to react and fully enjoy it. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I think is amazing.